Okay, we're good.
So I am not doing the universal intro again, but I'm Nick Knack. With me is the Great Lord Vorn, Realm Shifter, and Seki.
Yay!
Welcome back.
Facepalm.
We are continuing on with our overall index discussion, and this time, today, we'll be working on looking over the production value.
Wait, I have how? The animation, basic. The characters, basic. The story, amazing! Sorry.
I mean, the OP was pretty okay, or meh, I think. But you know what? It was raised up several times on the fact that we can kind of consider the universal intro the OP. And man, if that universal intro couldn't get me hyped to go take a shit.
But like also just on the whole for this show, right? Like there's no unique animation, right? It's not done in a particular style of like a mangaka. This is definitely just like whatever animation was easiest for the studio and fastest, right? There's nothing particularly special, I thought, about any of the soundtrack, really, other than the whole Universal.
I noticed that it was very techno. It actually kind of got on my nerves at a few points because it didn't feel like it was using techno well.
Yeah, but it wasn't, like, enough techno to, like...
Oh, no, there was a lot of... I rewatched it a couple times, actually, but it's a lot of techno. It just wasn't good techno.
Like, not used well. It wasn't used well in a good way. So, you know, I mean, no part of the production value of this show stood out to me. Nothing.
No.
Like, I don't remember the OP. The animation isn't special. Like, the soundtracks are not stunning. You know, like, I'm never gonna think about an episode and remember the soundtrack or the opening or the ending. Or how a particular character looked, necessarily.
So I actually did end up liking some of the music choices, more specifically for the last couple of episodes, just because like they had like a bit of a horror theme to them, like with the music that they were going for.
I do remember that a little, yeah.
So I did like that because it was like, ooh, okay, it's got some suspense going. I like this kind of, and I liked the whole like idea. Well, I guess we'll get a little bit more into that when we get into like characters and like the world and stuff like that. But I did like the separation between like the espers and the magicians, that they're distinct in their own ways, basically.
Yeah, but that's not to do with production value.
That's not to do with production. That's why I said that. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah.
I will say though, because we always talk about the fights in this section too. While the fights, it's not like Fate where the fight scenes stood out to me for their animation, or like Demon Slayer for that. But the fight scene, since we normally talk about the fight scenes here, I'll throw this here, and I'll talk about it more later. But I did like the fight scenes overall. But again, that's not necessarily something related.
They weren't top tier
production value.
They weren't top tier fight scenes, but they served their purpose basically to drive the story. I
actually really like the fight scene. That's the thing, is I really like the fights, but the problem is it wasn't for the traditional reason. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. If we're going off the production value of the fights. Yeah. No, but I have to bring it here because normally the fights we talk about in production value, I have to shift it over.
Like the fights for like the powers and the people and what was happening.
Yeah.
Not for the animation of saying.
Which is different.
Yeah.
Compared to normal. Normally it's the kind of thing where it would be in the animation.
It's like if BEIGE was a production value. Yeah.
I mean, okay, I want to be clear here. There was nothing particularly wrong with the animation. It is clearly dated, but it's not like Fate where all the fight scenes are boxed in.
So it was done by somebody called JC Staff. Does that mean anything?
They are a pretty big studio, from what I understand. I don't remember them too much off the top of my head.
Do either you or Realm know anything that they've done? Just because I don't know studios, so sometimes hearing like what other things they've done.
Not off the top of my head, I do. Not off the top of my head, I do not know this studio.
Very generic. They do a lot of generic stuff.
Well, yeah, but like every studio does like some generic stuff. So, and if he's heard of them, there's got to be something they've done that's like,
let's see, like
notable.
They did the Konosuba movie.
Okay.
And that was pretty well animated.
Have they done anything else that I would know, maybe?
Let's see here.
Let me scroll through here. That's filmed.
Oh wait, I can't do that. That's copyrighted.
Yeah.
That's the ticking clock from
They did Toradora.
Okay.
The disastrous life of Psyche K.
Oh, okay.
Kaicho wa Maid-sama.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And then here's a throwback to the very beginning of our podcast. Data. Actually, that was for the end there, and they did much more.
But wait, no, hang on. Saiki K, Toradora, and Kaichawa Maid-sama. I'm a fan of all of
You'll
those.
notice I was buttering you up specifically.
Yeah, like Nick Nack is well aware of the fact that I'm actually a fan of all three of those shows.
Oh, they also did One Punch Man, like when One Punch Man was good, apparently.
Oh, great. Hey,
I love that
she
caption.
did Food Wars well.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I'm going to
okay.
go out on a limb here and say that it's not necessarily this series is badly animated. I don't want to pin that on it. In fact, I think this is about the standard for when it was probably produced.
Yeah. Okay.
Because like
Yeah.
you can look at the lightning that a certain character produces at the beginning and later,
Yeah,
and it looks
yeah.
pretty decent.
So it's not that they're a bad studio or they do bad work. It's
Yeah.
just I think what they were given was very generic in art.
Maybe, but I think
Because this
it's
was
time
also
period.
originally a light
This is an
novel.
older
This was not
series.
originally a.
Oh,
Not crazy
well,
old.
there-
It's a light
there's the
novel
answer.
too, so it's
Yeah.
not like it's got like framing
Well,
and
that,
panels.
no, that's what I mean. Like, there's the, like if it's originally a light novel, there's a good chance that it uses more generic character designs and faces because it doesn't have a unique art style like a lot of mangas do. Because, like, for example, oh God, I would give you a for example if I could think of one in my head right now, but I can't. But like even speaking about normal manga, you know, like One Piece has its own actual art style, but I bet if One Piece was just a book and then a studio was animating it, it wouldn't look the way it looks now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so that I get. That makes sense. That explains the beiginess of
Yeah.
this show.
It's also
light
the same. It's also
novel.
the same reasoning for why Data Live looked that way,
Yeah.
because Data Live was also originally a light novel.
Data Live had some unique properties. I just didn't like them, so it's different.
Yeah.
You know, I genuinely think the production value of this is not bad production value. It's just
Yeah.
older, but in that time period where it's new enough to where we feel like it should look up to the standards of
Yeah.
the current day. It's not like
Yeah.
old original One Piece or
Yeah.
even that far old where it's like,
It's just beige. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with it. It's a solid color. It's a solid animation production, but it's not special.
and then I don't think the OP or the ED stuck out to anybody. I actually thought the
No.
OP was really boring.
Yeah.
Like
Like,
outside
I
of
was
the,
okay. I was okay with the OP. It wasn't amazing, but I was okay with it.
I mean, it was different. I appreciated
Yeah.
it for being different. But at
Yeah.
the same time, the fact that I was like, I looked forward to the Universal Studios intro more than I looked forward to the OP says quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
in
know,
terms of
man.
getting me
Maybe
hyped for
that's
the
just
show.
good memories with Universal.
No, but I got hyped every time Universal came on, and then it was a recap, and then the OP, and by the time the OP was done, I was back down to normal Earth.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think that's all for our discussion on the production value here. Next time, we'll be going over the stories and the setting, which I think we're a little bit more excited to talk about. So
Oh,
until next
yeah.
time,
Can't
try
wait.
harder, everyone.
Woohoo!